Hi everybody. So I'm not playing music. Trying to act all chipper when people are just, you know, suffering 2 states away. Hi Daniel Berry Sports. Thank you for being here. I just wanted, and I'm not gonna read. I don't feel like reading a story. I mean, let's be real. I was so sickened by so many of the comments that I saw. Hi, Sharjo, all the way from the UK. Hi, hun. I was sickened by the deliberate, insulting, uh, political, condescending, and downright cruel comments from people slash trolls in, I mean, not in my chat. I'm talking like on Fox Live now, and you know, they have no clue. I mean, have they not really suffered? Have they never been in a tornado? I have. When I was 5, the whole house was moving and shaking and crumbling, and my grandmother almost died, and it was horrific. I've never been in a hurricane, thank God, but thousands and thousands have, and not that long ago. People are still probably trying to pick up the pieces in the Carolinas and other places from those hurricanes. You know, I have been in a typhoon. I've said this before. That was in Okinawa. We had 100-mile-an-hour winds, or 110. It was scary shit. I mean, the water was lashing so hard and wild. I could see pools of water underneath the main door. Like I thought the door was going to break down. We were going to be flooded and washed out into the dang sea. The sea that was right there next to the border wall where we lived in Key Mansion up on the 6th floor. I've never been in horrible fire, but we had a pretty bad kitchen fire here, and that was terrifying. It was hard for me to even feel water because I was I did it, but I had this uneasy feeling of just turning a burner on because I was sterilizing a flea comb in the back, and a front burner caught on fire that had a rice cooker on it. And within about 20 minutes, there were flames hitting or just missing the sprinkler system, which in a way was a good thing because I didn't have insurance. And 70,000 or 7,000 gallons of water would have gone down through all the apartments. That's what maintenance told me. But the kitchen was sprayed down with that, whatever that's called, that white stuff. Neighbors saw it. I didn't even know how to use a fire extinguisher back then. I think I would go ahead and figure it out now, but I forgot there was one outside my door even. Like I really, really did. It's just focusing on grabbing the 2 little guinea pigs because they were bees then, and trying to find the cat. But they were hopping over each other like a bunch of deer. It was weird. Like I thought they would, I don't know, I thought they would stick together. I thought it'd be easier, but they were okay, and one got out, and we found it in another apartment, hiding under their child's crib. But these fires are really intense, as everyone knows, and I didn't know about them all day, these Los Angeles fires, all day, because as I stated on yesterday's live, I was on the darn phone and this and that with 30 minutes with someone that was trying to scam me, and would have succeeded if we didn't have really good fraud detecting and watching systems put in place through my bank. And it's not a major bank. That's what's so amazing. It's not, massively well known across the country type deal. So, but again this morning, the same people with their Indian voices came on and were calling me, and it started 8 or 9. Oh, because I didn't know they were scammers. They were doing all the right things. Oh, let's send you a notification, read me the number. And when I was done with the entire phone call, it was 32 minutes. So, I mean, you guys can judge me all you want. I just saw about it on the Seattle News where you never want to give out your card number information, and I ended up doing that. But I was questioning and questioning and questioning. I'm sure he wanted it to happen, but I kept questioning and asking questions, and I said, 2 other times I had to get a new card. I never had to go through all of this. Well, this is a new security system we have in place, and blah, blah, blah. They had it for everything. So until you're confronted with that situation, don't judge me. I'm telling you right now. I mean, I was calling myself a dumbass yesterday, but yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not in Seattle. I'm 2 hours from it. You're in Seattle News, either Channel 5 or 4, from the town I live in. Tarp or Targ or whoever that is that's chatting, because as soon as the chat comes up, it disappears. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, people that support me that I get to know on here and, visit more than once or twice, I give a wrench to. You won't ever need to use it, Aloha, because I don't time out hardly ever. And I only block if it's really bad. Not once me, I don't care about that, but spelling out derogatory things, by spamming the chat or completely, utterly harassing someone else in chat, that kind of thing. So, yeah, so these people called, and I was so pissed for yesterday, even though I had called my bank after the whole fiasco and found out they did try to take $1,500 twice, and then 1,000, and then 990, and that nobody ever did use my card for fraud in Pennsylvania for $640 on eBay. I mean, they had it all set up, an answer for every little thing. And I've telemarketed before. I know you're supposed to have an answer for every little thing, but yeah, this definitely isn't telemarketing. But these people called this morning. They called and I picked up, and they said, "Are you so-and-so?" I said, "Are you Megan?" Because that's my real name. I've said that before on here, Megan. And I said, could be. Like that, kind of a smart ass. And they're like, "Oh, well, we detect fraud willing from your bank, blah, 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 blah." And I said, "No, you're not." This is what I said. And I was just getting woken up, and I was just like, so anyway, I hung up. They called immediately back, and I said, "Look, you guys tried to get money from me yesterday. It's not going to work. Don't call here again." And I hung up. They didn't for about an hour, and then they called 5 more times. And I answered on like the second phone call because I wanted them to feel like shit and let them know that I know that, I'm calling off, and maybe they'd leave me alone and I don't have to change my phone number. But I very well might have to, because they're relentless. And after I said, they said, "Is this Megan?" like that or whatever. I said, "Well, you should know." I said, "You tell me." And then they said, "We're detecting fraud, da 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 da." And I said, "Really? Yeah, no." This is what I said. I said, "How do you guys live with yourself?" I said, 2 states away, Los Angeles is on fire. People are losing their homes, dying. Okay, 5 people have died now, and I know the number's going to go up. I don't know if one of the person or one of the people of the 5 is the guy that was walking down Palisades Highway, or was it Malibu? One or the other. It might have been Malibu. Completely naked because his clothes had burned off his poor body. And they got him to the hospital. He's in critical condition, and he's intubated. So yeah. So I said, how do you look? How do you live with yourself? How do you look yourself in the mirror? And then the guy clicked, hung up. So I felt a little bit of satisfaction to be able to rile someone up enough that they would hang up. But then they called 5 more times later on and I didn't answer. Now this is the other thing. I know my whole life, okay, you don't respond to crank calls. You don't respond to spam. You're not supposed to slam the receiver down when we had those kinds of phones, right? You just quietly hang up. Well, I was just irritated that I was nearly scammed and on the phone so long, and thankfully I waited that 20 minutes to get through to my bank, and the number was not a 1-800 or 866. I said this yesterday. It was my bank's number. And there are foreign sounding dialects always on these customer service lines and whatnot. So when I saw that number, I actually was relieved and told my daughter, oh, maybe I didn't get scammed, but I'm going to get through and talk to someone at the bank. And I had. There was nobody trying to take money in Pennsylvania or off eBay or anything. And so yeah, you guys can watch my yesterday's video if any more details on that. They actually sent a fictitious thing that I was to say yes to. I questioned it, and I was actually in tears. Well, hello. Yeah, give them a little bit of guilt. Hi, Rock This Girl, thank you. But you know, I just saw on the darn Seattle News, don't ever give your card number out. They're very smooth, very calculating, saying this is a new security thing. That's why I fell for it. I wanted to get this cleared up with my card, but I know they're going to contact my email. They have in the past when I've had to get a new card 2 different times due to real fraud. So, I'm not answering anymore. When my bank calls, I'm not answering. Or if I do answer and it's an Indian sounding staticky line, I'm simply going to hang up. But I probably just won't answer, and I'll instantly go to my email and it'll say if I have to put a yes or no on did you make this transaction? Because the other 2, and I had to get a new card, really was fraud. Someone was trying to buy some kind of ticket from far away, and another person was trying to buy some kind of weird marijuana holder that started with the letter P, and I don't even, not pipe, but something really weird, because I just didn't even know what it was, and I asked them at the bank and they knew. Anyway, some of the images that I saw on my own looking, on YouTube and mainly at the news, besides Dolly Vision's really long live, I looked at that for a little bit, was a policeman in all of his, black or dark blue attire, holding a hose, spraying down a house. Okay, when do you see that? Try never. I never have. That was amazing to me, and that's because they had a shortage of firemen at that point in that area. Most of you know the sparks are traveling up to miles from these fires and setting other fires. I mean, towns and suburbs and counties on fire. Um, Santa Monica, early wee hours last night, had to be evacuated. I mean, and the last I looked on the news, um, there were 6 fires now. 6. 5 people have died. As most of you know, a 25-year-old female firefighter had a serious head injury. They were yelling out Mayday, Mayday, got her on a truck. I don't know what the outcome to that is. I'm assuming she's alive. She wasn't talking, but her eyes were open. Some people, because of a lot of people didn't have a chance to even hardly get away going down the one road that they had up into canyon area, which would be really scary. You know, you think you're fine, and then the wind changes and it's in your backyard, flames. And that happened to a lot of people. I saw a family trying to leave, but the news reporter, I think it was a male, was talking to them, and I wouldn't even do that. I'd be like, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go, and get out of there. I hope they weren't the 5 that passed away. And of course, there's one that's gone viral out there where a man, he sounds like he's in his 30s, maybe, young 30s, late 20s, with his dog, and his entire place is surrounded with huge flames. I mean, scary, scary, scary. He swears in it one little word. He tries to talk to himself and the dog, saying, we're going to be okay. And there's word that he is and his dog. But in all honesty, the entire place was in flames, and he was up on a hill, too. He wasn't down on a street. So until I get proof of some sort, I don't believe that he made it out of there. I just don't. I want proof, because it was beyond devastating, and he was scared. He was frightened. I thought I heard another voice in the background, like a roommate, a male roommate or friend or someone was saying, whoa, look at all the flames. Maybe it was him, but to me it sounded like a different voice. This is a video that's gone viral in the, is it the Palisades area? I'm not quite sure if it's that or Malibu. The houses, the structures along the ocean, half of them burned down and are on fire as we speak. There's quite a few that aren't, but if the winds pick up, they're now in the 70s, you guys. If they pick up into the 80s and even 90s, like last night, there'll be more structure damage. I mean, it's given. And let's see, also, the highest wind reported last night, and I wrote this down, so I'm not giving false information, is yeah, I got it right here. 94-mile-an-hour winds, and this is in the wee early hours of the morning. So we're looking at what, 10 hours ago or something, 12, 94 miles per hour in Eagle Mountain Canyon at winds of 92. Okay, that's as fast as a hurricane. These are hurricane force Santa Ana winds. Really scary. One lady who, with her dog, who's reported on hurricanes and was even in one, um, practically almost her life doing something happening to the car she was getting in. She was reporting. She said, it was really scary, but she said this is worse because it's fire coming at you. And many of these people didn't have anywhere to go. So there's images all over the internet. I just wanted to make a quick live to say that I'm not going to be. I can't just sit and read some drinking love story when thousands of people are fleeing. Some have died. Um, in one area, I think it was in uh, Atadena. I think it was there. I wish I knew now. I just heard it. Out of 10,000 some hundred homes, one was spared. And these firemen just had the look of sadness in their eyes. And that's what Gotti Schwartz or Gotti Schwartz from NBC News said. It's really sad. Also, I didn't even think of this. The pet stores, you know. There was a little, in Altadena. Is it Altadena or Atadena? Or Antadena? Now I can't remember. But you guys will know when you look. The little pet store burned to the ground. And, you know, there were rats and guinea pigs and all kinds of things in there. And they couldn't salvage the store. I mean, because of that, they didn't necessarily get all the little pets out, but a lady was crying and came up to a reporter and said, I used to work there, and this and that and the other thing. So lots of image, lots of sadness. I'm in Washington State. But I guess I'll end with this. I just remembered. Among all the firefighters in many different counties of California, and I'm not quite sure if it's Arizona or Idaho or where, but I've heard only so far, out of all the other adjoining states, Washington State is there helping. We're there. And it doesn't surprise me because we care about our neighbors. So they're in dire need. Here, all day, starting at 10 in the morning, fires all through the night, and now all day, and now into the night again. And guess what? It's 0% contained. 0. Not even 15. This is really serious. So I did a live of about almost 25 minutes. I'm going to say thank you for being here or listening, or if you see this later, please like. It helps me in the algorithms. And I'm about 15 or 17 away from 3,000. If you'd like to help me reach my goal, I'd so appreciate it. So this is PCT is extreme, and prayers. I mean, what else do you say? Prayers, and they need lots of help in California. Many counties, because the winds can shift on a dime, have to ready, set, go, be ready to split, have your car already turned around in the driveway to pull out. It's that serious. So they keep saying this. Just because you think you're in a safe area, you may not be because of the winds picking. They'll be picking up through the night. Hopefully, they're saying it'll be contained somewhat by tomorrow. Hopefully, but we'll see because of possible weather changes. And very quickly, I just heard this. The water system, in one breath they're saying good, and another they're saying they don't have enough. They don't have enough. I heard a firefighter say it to Gotti Schwartz from NBC News. He asked him. He said, unfortunately, we can't save this structure because we have no water. So they're asking people to use their water minimally in their houses. The reservoir is not filled up to capacity, and people are mad. People are starting to get upset because LA knew. They knew these winds of this magnitude were a week ago were coming in. Even the weatherman said that, and they weren't prepared. They were not prepared with even making guys that the water is channeling through the fire hydrants. And then sometimes when it is, it's literally weak. It's coming out like a weak hose in someone's garden. I saw it. I saw a fireman holding a hose. It wasn't trickling. It was a weak stream spray. Really, really sad. And frankly, I believe in climate change. I always have, whether I'm a Democrat or not, which I am. And we're seeing the signs. We're going to have fires like this probably every year, and they're probably going to get worse and worse and worse every year. Same with the hurricanes and everything else. One time, things got so bad 2 years ago, I had to stay in the house with my grown adult children for days and keep the windows all closed. So we ran and stayed inside. If we had to go to the store, of course, we'd have a mask on to check the mail, but we stayed inside and kept our windows closed because of the air quality. Because where I'm at, I'm 20 minutes from Canada, and the Canadian mountains on fire, or the Cascades, and then Montana was on fire, and of course Washington State. We had 540 fires going in one day. I googled it and I saw it said the number and all these little red fires all over the state. And that's in one day, not counting the states of including Oregon. So it's a little scary, and that's why my voice has some urgency sounding in it. I'm not necessarily worried about Washington, but I suppose I should be, because with climate change, this probably could happen anywhere. All right. Love you guys. I'm going to go now. Thank you.